Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. We are here with you from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving to support the broadcast or our food pantry on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and those of you that use the QR code provided on Facebook or YouTube, the link that is also provided, or those of you that are now using Zelle on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We thank all of you for your continued support and your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. So, first of all, I want to begin by saying this. If you're in our area on Sunday, September 8th, we will be having our annual Family and Friends Day. It's a huge event. So I want to take time out to remind everyone, I serve as senior pastor of New Life Christian Center, which is located at 400 Hillcrest Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. We are right on the corner of Hillcrest and Marsh Road. So if you're in our area, come and worship with us. Come and experience a better quality of life. But immediately following Sunday service, we are going to have our annual barbecue. We are going to have a gaming limousine out for the children to play video games and for young adults who like to play also. There's going to be face painting for the kids. We're going to be doing some different things just to have a good time, just to fellowship with all of our family, friends, neighbors. And so we invite you to come. Service begins at 10 a.m. and immediately following Sunday service, we will go down into the banquet hall where the team will be setting up food. It is all free. They barbecue in the parking lot. We serve in the fellowship hall. It's just a good time for everyone to fellowship together. So come out, come worship with us, 10 a.m., and fellowship with us immediately following Sunday service at New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. And if you're not in our area, you can tune into the Sunday sermon on our YouTube channel at New Life Christian Center _ Pastor Pope. And we invite everyone to come and fellowship with us. It's the end of summer. The students have gone back to school. So we are always the second Sunday in September. It is one of our two largest events for the year. So we are looking forward to you being with us. And I'm going to say to all of our listeners and viewers, so there's a couple of housekeeping items I want to take care of. First of all, I want to make sure that you know, if you know anyone who's in need of food, who is dealing with food insecurities, please have them contact us by text on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We will make certain that we reach out to them, that we give them instructions on how they can obtain food from our New Life Food Source Pantry. We give out free food to anyone who's in need. We don't want anyone going hungry. So have them reach out to us. And I'm going to ask everyone to pardon me because I have been dealing with severe allergies for over a week now. But I'm just going to ask everyone to be patient with me. So I just want to make sure that you know if anyone needs food, have them contact us. Have them text us on the T-Mobile caller text line. We will make certain that they get the instructions necessary to receive free food. And I want to make certain that everyone knows that New Life International Community Development Corporation has become your money lender, your private money lender broker. So if you are in the real estate business, whether you're flipping houses, whether you're doing development projects, whether you are purchasing commercial real estate, if you're in the real estate business, just text us on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. If you need funding, we will make certain that you have the funding you need to do your projects. All right. So I hope everyone is, I can see, but I hope everyone is encouraging. Not only are you tuning in to our internet radio station, but you're encouraging your family, friends, coworkers, and colleagues to do the same at WKAPfaith.com. We want to be connected with you through the week. We want to encourage you. We want to empower you. We want to inspire you. And that's why we play music 24 hours a day. Other than sponsorship announcements, we are commercial free for 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So be part of the New Life community. There's so much going on, and we don't want you to miss out on the opportunity to be blessed and experience a better quality of life. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your parents have a friend who is a single man who is a successful business owner. You said he's never been married and he has no children. However, you find yourself attracted to him. The problem is, you haven't said anything to him, but the problem is he's a friend of your parents, and you think your parents are going to lose their mind if you tell them that you're interested in their friend, because he's your parents' age, and you're concerned that they're going to be up in arms. So let me first of all begin by saying this. You know, we all know the term May December romances. We know that it's one thing when, you know, someone older takes an interest in someone younger, but it's also a thing when someone younger takes an interest in someone older. You don't really know what you have in common, except the only thing you have in common right now is your parents. So I get it. At 40, you feel, well, you're almost 40, you're 39. But you feel like you're an adult, you are competent, you're single, you say you don't want any children, and you see this man frequently when you are at events that your parents are involved in. It's generally when they invite you and you attend, they invite him, he attends. You have good conversations, but you don't know what you have in common. And yet you find yourself attracted to him. So there's a couple of things that really need to happen here. And I will say this to you, because we don't ever know if it's the right spirit that has attached itself to this individual, meaning you've got your eye on him, for lack of a better term. But here's what happens. You now need to, first and foremost, have a conversation with your parents. And tell them that you're interested in their friend. They may be able to give you a little insight that will help you to understand where you are at this point. But you can't unring that bell. So you got to know, if you have that conversation with your parents, it's going to be, they're going to respond. And you've considered just having a conversation with the man, but you don't want to do that first because your parents are involved. You two have exchanged conversation, you've had light conversations, but you don't know where he is at this point in his life. But one thing you did say in your communication, and I agree completely, I was prayerful about this, the reason he never married is because he's been married to his business. So you need to have a conversation with your parents if you intend to pursue the conversation with this man. Now, having said that, here's a second component. Once you have that conversation with your parents, if you then are committed to being open to a relationship with this man, the very next thing you need to find out from him is what his relationship is with the Lord. So you can't just go into this because he's a successful business owner and you're looking for financial security. You have a career, but you realize that, with his successful business and your career, you'd have a great life. I get it. But that's not the end all to the equation. So you have to find out where he is in his relationship with the Lord. Find out if he'll take you to church and then out to lunch 3 times. And the way you find that out is, once you've had the conversation with your parents, you open yourself and position yourself to have that conversation with them. It may be at the next event that the two of you attend that your parents are involved in. Then you make yourself open and see if he's interested. And if he's interested, then you have to find out, what's your relationship with the Lord? Are you willing to take me to church and out to lunch? That's all you're asking. You're not asking him anything else. Then you let him take the lead. Because if he's willing to take you to church with him and out to lunch for a month of Sundays, I'll say it that way, but it only needs to be 3 times. Then you can, start discussing other things. But you've got to really know what his plan is for his life. He has one, because otherwise he wouldn't be a successful business owner. See, that's one thing that people don't understand. You can own a business and not be successful. You can own a business and be running your business every single day, and eventually, if you're not committed to the business, there's going to be problems. But when you're committed, you just get up every day and you keep working and keep, they use a term now, grinding it out, and you keep doing that. But as you said, he's successful. He's been successful for many years. So he has a plan, but you need to know what the plan is. You need to know if the plan includes marriage at some point. Because he may have been married to his business all of these years, but he may be willing and open to marriage for the right person. And I'm going to tell you what the right person is. If the two of you decide that you would like to pursue a relationship, the right person is the person who's going to come into the business and help him with the business. At the end of your day, instead of going out with your girlfriends, at the end of your day, it would be you going and helping him at the business. It would be you getting involved in the business in the sense of whatever area of business you can assist him in, you're willing to assist him. That's the right person. The reason he hasn't been married is because he hasn't had someone who was willing to put that kind of sweat equity into the business to someday become his wife. It's not because he's adverse to marriage. It's because he's adverse to opposition to his business. And you all have to pardon me. I was just saying the other day, I'll give you an example. And many people have heard me say this when I preach a sermon on any given Sunday throughout the year. My wife for 18 years was involved with children's church administration. She no longer can do that because she has more responsibility now that we've expanded our operations at the church. So she no longer is she's no longer in the position of teaching and being involved with children's church now. But for 18 years, she did that. And I would say often on a Sunday, everyone couldn't be my wife because, first of all, being my wife is a big responsibility. And the reason is because we have so many entities that we're operating in ministry that I don't get involved in the day-to-day operations of my household. And I'm going somewhere with this. Meaning, we have categories. Everybody's got a role. I'm the CEO. My wife's the COO. So I schedule the landscapers, I schedule, when she tells me there's a problem, if we need a plumber or if we need, an electrician or any of those things, she notifies me. I make the calls and I get the contractors in. But it's because she's given me a list of what needs to be done. Now, I don't get involved in that because I don't have time. I don't concern myself about what we're going to eat for dinner. She knows all of the operating aspects of the home. And in addition to that, she has a career. And in addition to that, she's involved in operating the church. But she's not just involved in operating the church. She's involved in all those little details that other people don't see until they show up on Sunday morning. Meaning, do we have flowers in the foyer? Do we have, are all the little things done that need to be done for service to operate effectively and efficiently? She's involved in all of that, but she does it all behind the scenes. She does it after she concludes her career every day. And then on Saturdays, because I don't leave my home unless we have something previously scheduled that I've had time to prepare throughout the week, I finish up my sermon message on Saturday. So, whereas a lot of pastors, their wives may want to do other things, and she understands that. But I say all of that to say is it took the right person to be able to serve in ministry where we are today. I'll say it that way. Well, the gentleman you're talking about has somewhat a similar issue. He's not in ministry, but he's a business owner and a successful business owner. So he needs someone who's going to be willing to put in that type of work. the work that nobody else is going to see, but when you're done with your career, business day, at the end of that day, come 6 o'clock, you're going to spend whatever time in the evening focusing on helping him with the business. Not, can you take me out on a date? And that's why he's still single. So the question you have to ask yourself, even before you go down that path, are you ready for that kind of responsibility? Are you prepared for that type of responsibility? Now, as I was prayerful about this, I will say to you, God has shown me that you could be, you have the potential to be, but you've been filling your hours to date with going out with your girlfriends, doing things that will entertain you. You just have to decide, are you willing to make that transition? Because you can do it. You have the competency to do it. I jokingly say, maybe not at the level of my wife, but because that's a whole different dynamic when you're in ministry, but it's still our Father's business. So you have to decide, is that what you're willing to do if you want to have a relationship with this man, or are you just attracted to him because he's a business owner, he's successful, he can take you out, on dates, he could, but I can tell you he's not going to, because that's not his focus. His focus is to keep pushing that business forward so that he can be more philanthropic. He's not married, never been married, has no children. And if he doesn't have nieces and nephews who are going to follow in the business, he's got to do something with it, with the revenue from it. So you got to decide, is that something that you want out of life? And as I said, you're going to need to have some conversations with your parents, because they can give you some guidance in this matter based on what they know of him and what they know about him. And I'll keep you both in prayer, because that's a good man. That's a man who's building the kingdom. And God is blessing him to do some great work. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may have the opportunity to become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill. At T-Mobile, America's largest and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers. However, before I do that, this segment of the broadcast will be brought to you by Comcast Business. Are you looking for the best telecom solutions for your business? Doesn't matter if you're a small startup or a large enterprise, Sarah Jo Boyle at Comcast Business has you covered. So call Sarah Jo Boyle at 215-964-3670 and give your business the edge it deserves. Your code is Pastor Pope, always Pastor Pope, for exclusive September discounts. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your husband says it appears he can do nothing right. You said, however, the truth is that he does things differently than the way you would do them. So let me say this to you. If it's working, that does not make his method wrong. One of the things that we all have to understand as people is that when it's not broke, don't try to fix it. The problem with people is, and this is something that you deal with, is control issues. You got to be in control of everything. You want to know everything that's going on. You want to, be in the mix. And it's not necessary for you to be in the mix of everything, especially if things are getting done. Just don't find it necessary to interfere, because then all you do is slow down progress. Yes, it's fine to remind him of certain things that he needs to get done, and we all need that. We all need someone from time to time to do a check-in and say, were you able to get that done? Were you able to call the window cleaners? Were you able to get the gutters cleaned? Were you able to, power wash the patio and the porch? And it's good to have someone remind, and men and women are wired differently. It's good to have someone remind us of things from time to time. And when I say from time to time, from week to week, you can check in and remind him of what is on the calendar to be done. But just because he isn't doing them the way you think they should be done doesn't make it the wrong way. You've been married a long time. And here's what I encourage everyone to do. Look at the quality of your life, where you are right now. And if you can honestly say that life has gotten better every year that's gone by, and things continue to move forward, then you're getting things done. They may not be done the way you would like them to be done. You might want to be more involved in certain things, but the question you have to ask yourself is, why? Because if you're getting the things done that you need to get done the right way, and this is for all of us, you won't have time to interfere in what the other person is doing. You may be able to offer some assistance, but it can't be interference. So I'll use a practical example. My wife will check in, because I think it's a good thing. She will check in with me and ask, did you get that project completed that you were working on in ministry? And I will say to her, no, I haven't gotten to that yet. Haven't gotten that completed yet. Still working on it. But she's checking in. It's a reminder for me, and it also is her offering assistance if I need it. So that's always good. But if you're not going to do the work, why are you asking him the question? Why are you, let me rephrase that, not asking him the question, but why are you telling him it should be done a different way? Because if you're going to do it differently, that's fine. But if you're not going to do it, why are you asking him to do it a different way that may not be comfortable for him to do it that way, because it will require more work of him than him doing it the way he does it. And I hope everyone understands this, because this is real significant in business. But it's also important in our personal lives. There's just some things we don't have to be involved in. Like I mentioned a very simple example when I said earlier, I said, I don't get involved in what we're going to have for dinner. I may ask my wife what we're having for dinner, because I may have a taste for something specific. But I'm never going to say to her, this is what we're having for dinner. Because I don't cook. I will make reservations, I will order food, but I'm not going to cook. And she doesn't like to eat out because she's health conscious. And she always says that, restaurants are not the best thing for you, because they season their food one way, they use certain ingredients. So I get it, because she's trying to keep me healthy. But I'm using these examples because these are practical examples. I too live every day. I have a wife and I have 2 adult children, a daughter-in-law and 2 grandsons. We're all living this life together. What we are trying to do is get the best quality of life, accomplish the best quality of life. And in order for us to do that, we have to have structure in our lives. We can't just be interfering in everything, and we can't just be all over the place. We've got to have structure. And we can do that if we really focus on doing it God's way